are breaking at this hour. The Supreme Court of India has rejected the SBI's plea now, and the scathing indictment of the SBI in the electoral bonds order has demanded this to be furnished by tomorrow. That is the deadline. 12th of March is the deadline. SBI must disclose the details of the electoral bonds by tomorrow. No more delay. Comply by 5 p.m. is what the poll panel has the SBI has been told. The court has rejected the plea. The SBI, Shrishti, was in fact asking for further time till the 30th of June. We understand the court has said that's not going to be allowed. Get us more details. Put this into perspective on how big a setback this is really for the SBI.
Well, yes, it's definitely a very big setback for the State Bank of India because the Supreme Court has refused to grant any relief whatsoever. Not even a 2 days extension or a week extension has been granted by a court to State Bank of India. In very clear terms, very categorically, court has said that very clear directions were issued by the top court last month when they asked SBI to furnish all the electoral bonds information, and the ECI was then subsequently supposed to publish it on its website. Now the court has directed that by tomorrow, March 12th, SBI will have to furnish all the information, and the ECI will then collate the information and publish it on its website by March 15th. So by 12th March, SBI has been directed to comply with Supreme Court's 15th February order. Supreme Court had during the hearing also pulled up the State Bank of India, saying that on 15th Feb last month this order was issued by the Supreme Court, and SBI approached the top court 2 days before the deadline. Now court has also said that SBI's the basic premise on which State Bank of India was seeking an extension was the fact that it will take time to match the donors with the donations and the political party to which the donations have been made. They have the information with them, but just that the information is in two different silos.
Consultant editor Rajdeep Sardesai also now joining us on the broadcast. Rajdeep, your reaction to what has just happened in the Supreme Court of India with the SBI saying give us a deadline up till the 30th of June, give us more time. The court says nothing doing. Your deadline ends tomorrow.
I see it as a huge victory, Sneha, for the public's right to know. Under Article 19, it was very clear that the opaque manner in which electoral bonds were being purchased and then being encashed by political parties, the court has made it very clear that these details are not of the kind that you need 4 months to collate them. Yes, they are in two silos, but the specific details that we asked for, which is the details of who purchased the bonds and who encashed them, are easily available. They are just spread across, according to the court, 23 State Bank of India designated branches, and it would not take more than a day, which they've given till working day tomorrow, for the court for the Election Commission to be provided these details by the State Bank. So yes, it's a huge victory in that sense for the public's right to know just how elections are being, how the electoral bond system is actually working, who are the individuals or corporates who have purchased these bonds, and who are the beneficiaries. So, and with the manner in which the court gave that ruling and that order, saying SBI would be in contempt for willful disobedience if they did not comply with the court's order, clearly the court has taken a very tough line. I expect the opposition to interpret this as a victory for them and suggest that the government has been putting pressure on State Bank of India. But let's be clear, the court did not specifically mention any government or any political party as being as putting pressure on SBI. They've specifically referred to SBI's ability to provide the details that the court had asked for on the 15th of February. So yes, it will be seen as a victory more for the public's right to know.
Well, absolutely a right step as far as transparency in elections and election funding is concerned, Rajdeep. The BJP in the past had said that, any decision on this isn't really going to be affecting or influencing the elections, is what the BJP had said in the past.
Absolutely. I think we need to we need to say that it isn't as if the electoral bonds details being disclosed is going to dramatically transform the way elections in this country are financed. As we know, elections in this country are often financed through what many believe is the parallel economy. The cash economy still rules often at election time. Now, that's not going to change. But at least in terms of electoral bonds, which was seen initially as a worthy attempt to try and ensure that political party funding was that political parties were more willing to give funds through checks. That was the original idea. The problem was in the implementation of the scheme, the way in which the scheme allowed the government access to the details, while the opposition didn't have the access, and the fact that as a result of this scheme, the entire electoral bonds itself became opaque. All of this could change, and therefore that will be seen as a salutary move in ensuring at least some level of accountability and try and see that the quid pro quos that exist in our political system are reduced. So that will be seen as the major benefit of this Supreme Court order coming on the eve of the elections at a time when one election commissioner has already resigned in very suspicious circumstances. There will be question marks, of course, over whether there was any pressure on State Bank of India to defer it to the 30th of June. But politics aside, I think today is a victory for the public's right to know.
Well, absolutely. Also, before the court, in fact, ordered for the details to be furnished by tomorrow, 5 p.m. to be precise, Rajdeep, there was an indictment of the manner in which SBI had functioned also. During the course of the hearing, the Supreme Court wasn't pleased at all.
That's right. You see, because the Supreme Court's original order was passed on the 15th of February.
Right.
The State Bank of India came to the court only 2 days before the deadline was to expire on the 5th of March with what you call is a miscellaneous application saying they needed more time. As the court itself, one of the judges kept asking Mr. Hari Salve, who was representing State Bank of India, why has the application not even given the bare details of the progress that you made in the last 3 weeks? What exactly have you done in the last 3 weeks between the 15th of February and the 5th of March to furnish the details that we asked for?